Match day 16 in the Premier League, and believe me, after yesterday's performance at Craven Cottage, I wish it was match day 38. Fulham 5, West Ham 0. Listen, usually when I start this show, I usually start off with a little joke or something funny, or try to be funny, but West Ham wrote all the jokes for me yesterday. Their performance was the joke. It was embarrassing. Before I go into the game, I always forget this bit. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you've always been a subscriber, thank you for following us. But give us a thumbs up anyway, because it helps out the video, helps out the channel. But yeah, look, let's get straight into yesterday's performance. As you can see, team line up there. As soon as I see that team, look, you look at the recent form we've had against Fulham. They're unbeaten. We're unbeaten against Fulham in our last 14 games. So whatever team you put out, you think, yeah, you got a little bit of hope going now. Usually get a result at the Craven Cottage, turn up, But yesterday we got brought right back down to earth. Great result midweek, against Spurs. Didn't see that coming, especially after the first half. But going into Fulham, bit of confidence. And yeah, as soon as I see that starting lineup, no Emerson, no Alvarez. Creswell and Fornals coming in. As soon as we set up, you see Fornals goes out on the left. When I see Fornals in the starting lineup, I thought, okay, in the middle, yeah, he works hard. I've seen him do that before under David Moyes. But no, he drifts out to the left, doesn't do anything. Creswell, for me, he looks more interested in doing his hair than playing football. I know he ain't getting a lot of game time, but look, Emerson, I know there's a little bit of a virus, a bug going around the camp, but if Emerson's on the bench, then for me, he's fit enough to start. Start him, give him 65 minutes, and then take him off. Start him. You could just see how weak we was down that left. Fornals and Creswell. It's like taking a couple of Skodas to a Formula One race. It just ain't going to work. But look, they weren't the only players that let us down. There's only one player for me that can come off that pitch yesterday and hold their head high, and that's Jarrod Bowen. From the first minute to the last, non-stop running, trying to close the play down, trying to make something happen. I wanted him to get his goal to continue his run going. Even at 5-0 down, it'd be nice to see Bowen just get that goal, but it didn't happen. But that back four yesterday was all over the place. I mean, Aguerd for the first goal. I mean, I think the boat that hit Hammersmith Bridge won more headers than what Aguerd did yesterday. Out of position all the time. Weak. As I said, he's positioning. But look, he ain't the only one. Zuma as well lost a lot of headers. We're just all over the pitch. Just couldn't win any battles. That midfield might as well not have been there. Ward-Prowse, Souček, Paquetá might as well have been there. Polinia, Kearney, Pereira, Willian, Iwobi, they run the midfield yesterday. Polinia put in a couple of heavy tackles in the first half. And Souček didn't want to know after that. He bottled it. Absolutely bottled it. Ward-Prowse, same, Look, we started off, first 10 minutes, I think everyone said it, who's done their match reviews. Everyone said it, first 10 minutes, brilliant. You're looking at it thinking, yeah, do you know what? We're going to put in a performance today. Then after that, we just went missing. Went missing for the rest of the game. And do you know what? I'm not taking anything away from Fulham. 5-0, 5 different goal scorers, 5 different assists. Jimenez, great header. Great ball in from Polinia. And yeah, that's what Jimenez does. Seen him do it at Wolves. No one wanted to take a chance on him. Fulham took a chance on him. And yeah, he's found a bit of form. Willian, another player, frozen out, had a dreadful time at Arsenal. Frozen out. Well, I think he went over to Saudi Arabia or something like that. Fulham, once again, took a chance on him. 35, bossed us. Bossed our midfield and tore our defence a new one yesterday. And then just before half-time, Tosin made it 3-0. Tosin scores. I wish we could have tossed some of our players in the River Thames because it was dreadful. 3-0 down at half-time. What can you do? What can Moyes do? You've got Cornet on the bench. You've got Ings. You've got Ben Rama. Let's bring on another defender. Mavropanos on for Creswell. 2 defenders because Emerson come on for Fornals. And, yeah, you look at that and you just think, yeah, Moyes just wants to see this out take the 3-0 defeat. To be fair, the way it was going, I probably would have took the 3-0 defeat. But when you've got Cornet, Ings, yes, I did say Danny Ings, Mubama, and Ben Rama on the bench, why not bring them on? Why not just go for it? Give it a chance, you know. I just don't get it. And the thing is, you know, we can sit here and I can criticize the players, and rightly so. You know, they're the players that they cross the line. You know, but when I look at that team yesterday, you know, Paquetá once again. Listen, on his day he's a Rolls Royce, but yesterday he wasn't. He was a full KA. You know, lost on the A13. You know, he's throwing his arms in the air. He's trying his little tricks and flicks, and they're not coming off because the players in front of him. They're not good enough. They're not on the same wavelength as him. And, you know, I do feel a little bit sorry for him, but he was missing yesterday. Same as Kudus, another player. Didn't want to get involved. Didn't look like, are they playing too much football? Is it too much to play on a Thursday? A tough game at Spurs and then asked to do it again on a Sunday? Look, only they know that. They're the pros. They're the professionals. You know, it's easy for us to sit here as fans and say, "Oh, that's fucking easy. Do that. Try doing a 9 to 5. You know, proper job." But you know, yeah, it was. As I said, I'm not taking nothing away from Fulham yesterday. They deserved everything yesterday. Their fans must have been skipping down Fulham High Road. You know, they must have swum home in the Thames with a smile on their face, happy as Larry. You know. Whoever Larry is, we could have done with Larry yesterday. Yeah, but I'm not, as I said, I'm not taking nothing away from Fulham. But now it comes to David Moyes. Has he lost the dressing room? Someone buy him a sat-nav for Christmas, because I think he has. He's not... Look, people that watch the channel, they know that I've backed David Moyes. And you know, but it's getting to that point now where, you know, it was around this time last season. You know, I know we had the World Cup this time last season, but it was just before the World Cup when we lost them 3 games in a row at home to, I think it was Palace, was it Leicester, and then Blackburn in the Cup, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it was around that time where I thought, do you know what? Yeah, maybe they're saying not right. Maybe we need a change. They stuck with him. Obviously, we know the rest is history. He went on to win a trophy. But I don't think lightning is going to strike twice this season. And with what we've got coming up, you know, we've got Freiburg on Thursday. You know, a point's good enough for us to win the group. And that'll be a great achievement. Believe me, if we do that for the 3rd season in a row, winning the group, we go through to the last 16 and we won't play till March. We've got Wolves at home on Sunday, difficult game. Then we've got Liverpool in the Cup. And then before the end of the year, we play Man United at home and then Arsenal away. So difficult games there. And there's a run of games there where you're looking at it thinking, them 5 games there could define our season, because if we don't finish top in the Europa League, we go into the next round. The Champions League dropouts come on, and now and I like we'll get the hardest team and we'll get battered. Wolves at home, difficult. You know, it's one of them games where on paper you think, yeah, we should win that, but as we all know, football ain't played on paper; it's played on grass, and we don't seem to turn up on these boring Sunday 2:00 kickoffs. Look at the Palace game last week. So that's another slip up there. Liverpool in the Cup, we go out there. You know, the only chance I think we've got of getting in Europe this season is winning that League Cup, which I think we've got a good chance of doing. But we know, what is David Moyes going to take seriously, the league or the cups? You know, and then obviously United, we don't know what Man United's going to turn up, and then Arsenal, yeah, you know what way that one's going to go. But yeah, look. The board are starting to lose patience with David Moyes. You know, Tim Stein apparently has got a manager lined up in the summer. Someone who's probably in work. Someone probably by the name of Xabi Alonso. Looks like it could be him. I doubt that very much. I think if you look at what he's doing with Leverkusen this season, I think there's going to be a lot bigger teams than us looking at him. But you never know. He's worked with him before. There might be a little deal already done. Fingers crossed. But what do? Do you sack Moyes now? Do you sack him? And then what do? You put someone in interim charge? Who's out there? Who's going to come in and want to do this for the rest of the season? What we've got there, I know people saying Kevin Nolan and Mark Noble. Too much pressure for him. Too much pressure for him. I watched Claret and Booze last night. Great show. They had a phone in. And Anton from the West Ham Network was on there. And he made a very good point, you know. And he said that he's scared of change. And I sort of agree with him, and I sort of understand where he's coming from, because who do you bring in? And this is what I'm trying to say. Who do you bring in now to take over for the rest of the season? If someone's already lined up to come in the summer, you're going to look for someone that maybe wants to come in and do what David Moyes done for us first time round. Who? Harry Redknapp. Bring back Harry Redknapp. He'll put his arm around the players. He'll get them firing again. He'll play good football. But yeah, I mean, from an outsider's point of view, right? You look at West Ham this season, you think they've lost 1 in our last 7. We're unbeaten. We've only lost 6 games in all competition this season. We're what, 3 points off top 6 or whatever. You know, League Cup quarter final, top of the Europa League. They're thinking, what are they moaning about? Well, you know, but look, us West Ham fans will tell you, we don't want to be entertained every week. We know that. You know, we want entertainment every week, go to the theatre. But we at least want a few games where we're entertained. But it's been like that for a long, long time. You know, and it's getting to that point now where, you know, you're thinking, match days here. Oh, here we go. Another boring performance, you know. But look, there's a lot of talent in that team. And at the moment, if the players are not playing for David Moyes, you know, something's got to give. And you know, you can't sack a squad of players. So let's hope that, look, beat Freiburg on Thursday, win at home to Wolves, and you know what fans are like. You know what we are. 2 good performances, and, you know, we'll all be smiling again. But, yeah, it's not great. To lose 5-0 in any game is embarrassing. And, yeah, we got served up with chips yesterday, battered cod. And, yeah, you just got to take that one on the chin and hope that we come bouncing back and we can put in a couple of good performances this week. But look, as you know, this is my show. That was the weekend. This is a show where, if you're still with me, this is where I quickly just go round and I'm going to fly through these, go through the Premier League results at the weekend. So let's have a look. Let's get this. There we go. So on Saturday, early kickoff, Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2. Good game of football this. Really enjoyed this. Liverpool, the late show, 1-0 down. Penalty for Crystal Palace, put 1-0 up. Mo Salah equalised just after Ayew got sent off for a second bookable offence. That changed the game for Liverpool, that sending off. More space, and then Salah, and then Harvey Elliott with a good finish to get a great win on the road. And yeah, Liverpool are flying. It put them top of the league. Next up, Brighton 1, Burnley 1. Yeah, great point for Burnley on the road. You know, they're down there at the bottom. Disappointing home result for Brighton. You know, these Brighton they've had a very mixed season this year. Probably underperforming a bit, but results like that, you know, games like that, they should be picking up all 3 points. But fair play to Burnley. Next up, Man United 0, Bournemouth 3. Some would say surprise result. Some would say not a surprising result the way United have been performing. But what a result for Bournemouth. I think that's their first ever Premier League win at Old Trafford. Solanke, Billing and Sensei, you know, rounding off a great performance. And to be fair, watching the highlights, this could have been 4 or 5. You know, they had a lot more chances, but great result. Great away day for the Bournemouth fans, and one that they'll never forget. Next up, Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. James McAtee with the winner. Chris Wilder back at Sheffield United, and a huge 3 points for Sheffield United. You know, it's going to be a struggle for them this season, but, you know, Bramall Lane is a ground where they're going to pick up most of their points. And, yeah, 3 points on Saturday. Huge win. And another disappointing defeat for Brentford. Next up, Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Steve Cooper's job was on the line, and they put in a good performance. Toffolo put them 1-0 up. Kuna equalised for Wolves. But, yeah, great result for Nottingham Forest. And Steve Cooper is still in the job. And I think the board might look at that and think, yeah, you know, they showed a bit of fight, so they might stick with him for a little while longer. Late kickoff on Saturday night, see Aston Villa play Arsenal, and Aston Villa go from strength to strength. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. John McGinn with an early strike to get all 3 points. After beating Man City midweek and beating Arsenal, are Aston Villa in the title race? You bet they are. You bet they are. Do not write Aston Villa off. It's not a fluke where they are. You know, I think that was their 14th or 15th home win on a bounce. You know, they're going from strength to strength. You know, what a win. What a performance as well. And they deserved it. It's not like you look at this and think, oh, well, they've been lucky. No, they deserved it. They deserved all 3 points. And you know what? Fair play to them. They deserved it. But let's have a look at the Sunday results now. Everton have turned around to the Premier League and said, you know what? You take 10 points off us, don't matter. We're going to climb out that relegation zone. And another great victory for Sean Dyche and his team. 2-0 victory over Chelsea. Chelsea, I think I looked at a league table, and when you look at the points over the course of the year, they're bottom. And it's a terrible time for Chelsea and their fans. But Everton, buzzing. Decore put on 1-0 up. And then Lewis Dobbin with his first goal for Everton rounded off a great victory, a great Sunday for Everton. Next up, well, I ain't going to go into that one. Fulham 5, West Ham 0, discussed that one. Next up, Luton versus Man City. Luton actually found themselves 1-0 up in this game. Adebayo, you know, what a week for them. You know, they've give Arsenal and Man City 2 good games. Unfortunately, it's the Premier League, and this is what happens when you've got quality on the pitch. And Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish, 2 quick goals. And yeah, that was it. Man City go on, they get all 3 points, and they needed that. They needed that win, Man City, because they found it tough the last few weeks. And fair play to Luton, and it's just another great memory for them Luton fans to take with them this season. Finishing off the weekend, Tottenham 4, Newcastle 1. Tottenham back to winning ways after their defeat against West Ham midweek. Great game. Tottenham, entertaining team to watch, entertaining football. Newcastle are sort of going backwards a bit. But yeah, Tottenham deserved all 3 points. Richarlison getting a couple of goals. You know, Son rounding off the victory with a penalty. Joe Linton with a consolation goal at the end to give some of the Newcastle fans that were still there at the end of the whistle something to cheer about. But yeah, great victory for Spurs. And yeah, that was the Premier League match day 16. Let's have a quick look at the table. As you can see, Liverpool end the weekend top, closely followed by Arsenal. Aston Villa there, look, 2 points off top. How can you not say they're in the title race? And then Man City complete the top 4. West Ham in 9th, and as you can see there, look, rest of the table, I ain't got to read it out to you. Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United complete the bottom 3. As always, let's have a look at the top goal scorer charts. Erling Haaland didn't play at the weekend, but still out there, closely followed by Mo Salah and Son. And then Jarrod Bowen flying the flag for West Ham there with 9 goals. He's had a great start to the season. Let's have a look at the assists. Neto ain't played for so many weeks now, but he's still up there, and he's joint with Salah and Trippier. And as you can see, they're usual suspects. Clean sheets. Sam Johnson's still there. And how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 goalkeepers tied on 5 there. With our defence, I don't think you're going to see Areola or Fabianski on there this season, the way we're playing. But yeah, match day 17 starts off with Friday night football. Nottingham Forest versus Spurs. I can see there some good fixtures on Saturday. And then on Sunday, some great games to look forward to. Arsenal, Brighton, Brentford versus Villa, West Ham versus Wolves on Sky, Liverpool versus Man United on Sky as well. West Ham, Wolves on Sky. I don't know why they picked that one, to be honest, especially when you got Arsenal, Brighton and Brentford, Villa. 2 good games there. But look, it's what happens. We need to be on telly. Let's just hope that at the end of the game, we're smiling and we don't embarrass ourselves. But yeah, look, that was it for match day 16. Wasn't great. Wasn't a great match day for West Ham. The only highlight of the day yesterday was probably our travelling support from start to finish. Unbelievable. You could hear them loud and proud on the telly. You know, never let us down, the fans. You know, and sometimes I think that, you know, the board and the manager and the players take advantage of that because they know how loyal we are to our team. But as I said, big week for West Ham. Freiburg in the Europa League. A point will be good enough for us, but let's get the win. Let's end the Europa League group stages in style. And then we move on to Wolves at the weekend. And let's hope that we can bounce back to winning ways. Wise. I don't know. Look, my voice is going. I'm cracking up. Wise. I won't edit that out. I'll leave that bit in. But yeah, look, as I said at the beginning of the show, please give this show a thumbs up if you're still watching. Always subscribe. Not always subscribe. Please subscribe. You know, I'm losing it. But yeah, please subscribe. We've got there'll be a lot of content coming up over the next few days, build up to the Freiburg game, obviously fan cams. And yeah, that was match day 16. Wasn't great for West Ham. Good one for Fulham though. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Come on, you Irons.